nice to see you. How's the sticker collection going?
I haven't done one this year, but the previous years we completed them all. Lots of swaps. I was in a fortunate position. We had a few boxes sent to try and find our players, and then we brought quite a few pairs between me and two guys who work at Arsenal. But yeah, one of the guys left Arsenal, went to work for England, so we lost one of our members, and we kind of gradually stopped. But I might have to start again because, like I say, 3 years at Arsenal having the same sticker, it'd be quite cool to have a different one, a different kit now.
As you said that you collected the stickers with the other lads to normalise things, to kind of help you cope with the pressure. Was the pressure more when you were playing week in, week out, or when you were trying to get back into the side?
More when I was playing, but it was also to normalise myself in terms of football is such a crazy space, very high octane, very high intense, famous people, quote unquote, luxury lifestyle, and then you walk into a training ground and you have media people, kit men, player liaisons, masseuses, masseurs, who are normal people as we are, but without the glamour and the fame and everything else which comes with it. So I think it was just normalising myself of being at a really big football club with superstars, but not forgetting sort of the people who look after us, do swaps with the kit men and the kit man's son, and so it's just to keep myself grounded, especially the last season I had playing was a very good one for me personally. So rather than getting ahead of myself and being the big show and trying going too far with it, just to normalise and remember where I come from.
Forgive the pun, but eventually, we know in the summer the time came for you to decide whether to stick or twist.
Mm-hmm.
How hard was that decision, and how did you come to it?
It was so hard to leave the football club, to leave Arsenal. It was an easy decision to wanting to play football. In my eyes, if I ask a lot of the lads in any dressing room, what was your dream when you grew up? It was to play football in the Premier League, or play for England, or play for Man United, Chelsea, whatever. Mine was to play football in the Premier League. At one point it was with West Brom as a kid, that was my team. There isn't many people who I personally have met who have said I wanted to win the Premier League as a kid by sitting on the bench.
Yeah.
As much as that would be amazing, and you're in a team environment, and what the staff at Arsenal are building is incredible. So if I finish my career and I've played 10 years in the Premier League, 400 or 500 games, or I'd played 150, won 2 Premier Leagues and an FA Cup by not playing for Arsenal, I would much prefer the first option of playing. So it was very difficult to leave that football club because of how good it is, the people who are inside it, the charge, the momentum they've got. But when it came down to it, all I ever wanted to do was play, and that's what I'm doing now. And I'm so grateful for Southampton because I'm here and they've shown me the love and a new home.
So that was my next question. The newest sticker in the Aaron Ramsdale sticker book is Southampton. You alluded to it there, but why Southampton? We know all about the connection. You've lived and worked on the South Coast before. We saw you dressed up at the playoff final, but there must be more to it than that.
I think the overriding point is they wanted me. They really, really wanted me, and that was from the top to the bottom of the football club, and spearheaded by the manager. It can get portrayed as you have thousands of options, but when you could have 10 options, if one sticks out and one are fighting for you, that one place is going to be where you want to go. And the gaffer here was incredibly encouraging. His enthusiasm, the way he talked about my career, he knew a lot about my previous career, how he sees me in the future, what he wants to do with me personally. I think he said it in an interview after the game on Monday or before the game. He doesn't need to get involved in the goalkeeping, he has a goalkeeper coach, I knew it was going to be a tough year, and it started in my eyes tough, but with some great moments as well. And it can be a really good season. So I knew that coming in, but why take the easy option? If the easy option would have been staying at Arsenal and sitting on the bench and watching some great football and win 2-0 in the Champions League. So the manager is a major factor. And then when you actually go through the squad, I knew probably 11, 12 people already. And then the South Coast of having a house, I signed on the Thursday. By Thursday night, I was settled in my house.
Wow. Yeah.
So everything joined up. Now it's just time for us, the team, start gelling a little bit better and defending a little bit more, and getting some results, and it can be a wonderful year.
Do you feel still confidence in the way that you're playing, confidence in the boss? And would you, helping Southampton become established in the Premier League, playing week in, week out, be almost like, or like you say, better than sitting on the bench winning the Champions League?
100%, that last point. Yeah, if we can establish Southampton in the next few years as a Premier League club as it used to be, that would give me great satisfaction. I have so much belief in the way we're playing. You hear a lot about the way our style of play. From the third game against Brentford was the last time we gave goals away by playing out.
Interesting. Yeah.
But everyone's still talking about it.
Yeah.
The goals we've actually conceded are second phase set plays or little errors in just defending as a team, as an individual. So it's an interesting one to listen to everyone, because everyone's saying you can't do this, you can't do that. Well, in actual fact, we're doing it well. We're just not putting the in-possession stuff and the out-of-possession stuff together. I'm very happy with what I'm seeing at the minute in possession. And then as soon as we just gel a little bit more and take a little bit more ownership and desire to defend, I really do feel like we're going to have a great season. I think Bournemouth last year, after 9 games, had a couple of points. Didn't have any wins.
Wow.
Or 3 or 4 points
And
maybe
they went
after.
on an amazing run.
And then but they stuck to what they do.
Yeah.
They had a great year. If we stick to what we do, you never know. It's so tight down there. 1 win and you're a couple of points off, and it's an interesting one down the bottom.
You mentioned Bournemouth, and that's back to the sticker book. That's a big sticker in your personal book, isn't it? But not so good at the weekend. And you went on the social media and you said so that, if I could see in the dark, that the players didn't show enough fight and character in the first half. You've always been honest. Is it important to be honest with the fans?
I'm not going to sugarcoat anything. There's no point. We weren't. And again, I saw things after from people in the profession, pundits, saying about our style of play. 3 goals in that first half did not come down to us playing the ball out. They came down to a quick free kick where we switched off. A couple of individual errors leading to the third one where we let the player inside, turn our back, and he has a longer shot. And probably I could have possibly done better on that third goal as well. So it's not the players, it's every 11, all 11 of us out there. That's not tactics or the style of play. We got overrun in that first 45 minutes. So we can take some credit from Monday in the second half, but the first half was, for us, was unacceptable and something which we shouldn't let happen again.
Still only 26, young for a goalkeeper, so plenty of room for plenty more stickers in the Rambo sticker book.
Yeah.
But probably the sticker you're most proud of at the moment still is probably your time at Arsenal. Going back there on Saturday, obviously from 3 o'clock it's business, but what about before and after? You looking forward to going back there?
After. Before will be fine, it'll be like a normal match day. It'd be great to see the fans who stuck by me through thick and thin for 3 years at Arsenal, hadn't kicked a ball for a few months, played the Brentford game and had a terrible mistake, and they still sung for me until the end of the season. So that'll be brilliant, but once the whistle goes, as you said, it's business. It's about trying to get the best out of us and how we can try and hurt them, and then once that happens and the result is done, I'll be able to reflect and see the boys who I spent a lot of time with and see the people who work at the Emirates who sometimes you never get to say goodbye to. When
you were there coming out with the other goalkeepers, you looked like a band of brothers. There was a great vibe between you all, and there was, genuinely, including obviously you and David. Is there any hard feelings about what happened towards him?
Towards David? I felt like it was a bigger situation was made out of what it needed to be. If you look at him now at the start of the season, he's making some unbelievable saves. I know he can do that. I've seen it day in, day out. I'm not sure he would have made that at the start of last season when the pressure between me and him was coming from the outside in.
Has you leaving helped him?
I don't think I can see it's helped him because he's such a top goalkeeper. I think he's mustard, if I can say that. I just think there was so much noise from everybody other than inside the training ground. I think it's just hard not to hear it. Even if you don't listen to it, it's very hard not to hear it. We were tight, and I can remember texting him when I left. I said there was never anything personal between us. There was days where I was probably down and moping around. I said that was never anything to do with you. So I've been in the situation as well. I took Bernd Leno's spot 3 years before. And he was an amazing person to me. So I know it's football, and it's the same here. I've come in and took Alex McCarthy's spot for the time being. Gavin Bazzoon, who's injured. So I know how it works as being a goalkeeper. The start he's had is amazing. Hopefully he doesn't play like that on Saturday, but it'll be good to see him. I have nothing bad to say about David Raya, and hopefully he continues to play as well as he does, apart from this Saturday at 3 o'clock.
But goalkeeping, more than probably any other position in football, is a confidence position, isn't it? The better you play, the better you get, it seems to me, not being a goalkeeper, not even being a footballer. But, I mean, he's had some amazing performances so far this season, a couple of them at least, like worldly. And I've heard people describe it at the moment as the best goalkeeper in the world. Would you go that far? Or?
It's got to be in the debate. It has to be in the debate. The performance he's putting in at the minute, Atalanta away in the Champions League, Villa away, I was still there at that point. Some of the performances putting in, you has to be in the conversation. You know, you look at Emi Martinez last night for Villa against Bayern. So there are goalkeepers who are performing at the same level. So he has to be in the debate. But you know, it's now up to me as well. Hopefully, I can play that well, and we can have a great game between the two goalkeepers.
Can you get to the point where you're playing and people are saying to you, one of the best goalkeepers in the world again, which they've said before?
I know I can improve, and I can be and become a better goalkeeper on a whole and be more consistent, and that's something I want to improve. 26, so I've probably still got 10, 12 years minimum, hopefully at the top level, if I can continue to improve and stay fit. The best in the world business, that's for other people to mention. Listen, I had a very good year a few years ago and got in the team of the year for the Premier League, and that was an amazing achievement for myself. Hadn't been able to kick on probably since then, so hopefully one day I could be in the conversation of best in the world. Important
in your sticker book so far has been England, all levels, obviously senior level as well. We have seen the new squad. Obviously, you're aware, I'm sure, beforehand you're not in it. Mm-hmm. How important is it for you to be back in the England squad?
I was probably very fortunate over the last year to still be getting picked without playing. So it's definitely something which I never take for granted, and now I'm out of it, you're more desperate to go back in. But at the same time, you can't argue. There's 3 great goalkeepers there, and then you've got others who are playing as well. So we'll have to wait and see. And I said it a couple weeks ago before the first international break. I need to be playing for Southampton at the best of my ability for any chance of going back into that team, and I feel like I'm getting there. And hopefully I can by November I can be back in and challenging again.